The United States to completely guarantee the security of Saudi Arabia means, again, we could be drawn into a conflict with Iran because these guys are already fighting each other.
Right.
Let's look at some of the issues that are popping up around the world and some of the tensions that are being created by this for different countries and different situations that we see around the world. And it's pretty interesting to me because it does start to push different countries to do different things that maybe they wouldn't otherwise do.
There's a lot of chess pieces on the board right now that have the potential to move in very, very
quickly.
ways. I don't want to be like Tim Pool and say this is World War III because that's not. But there is the potential for a gradual escalation for sure.
Yeah. So what if North goes into South?
Right.
China goes into Taiwan.
Right.
Russia continues to, whatever in Ukraine. And then, like, you can see, like, oh, okay, and Iran starts to do something, Yemen starts to do something, Saudi Arabia. You can see how this very quickly can escalate, especially if people think, look, maybe you can't beat the United States in a fair fight. But if they're spread across 5 fights,
because a
4
war,
fights,
they're always concerned about fairness and war.
Right. No, that's what I'm saying. Like, what you've got to do is, like, okay, they're very strong, so you don't just take them on. You take them on while they're distracted, while they're depleted, while they're looking at other places around the world, and now they have to make the decision on who am I going to support the most, and how am I going to get enough munitions into these places to really be effective, right? So that's the scariest kind of scenario that's out there, is that people could start to do some stuff because now our focus is in different places. But recently, the concerns kind of that Saudi Arabia has over Iran's ambitions, these guys are constantly at each other's throats here. And it's essentially a proxy war in Yemen between these guys. So this is not something that is new, but this has pushed Saudi Arabia and Israel to be working toward normalizing their relations.
There were reports that you had suspended talks.
No, that's not true.
Not true. So you think, if you were to characterize it, are you close?
Every day we get closer. It seems it's for the first time real one, serious. We're going to see how it goes.
So, but the problem is with all of the new issues right now, the deal seems that it is on hold, given how Saudi Arabia has historically supported Palestine, or at least been sympathetic towards the cause of the Palestinians.
Right. Because they want to be, or Saudi Arabia wants to be seen as the Arab leader in the entire region, or the Muslim leader in the entire region, so they have to at least pretend to care about the Palestinians. Right,
and so here's a quote from MBS, the man you're saying, "The kingdom will continue to stand by the Palestinian nation in its quest for its legitimate rights." Right? You know what the Saudi Arabians want from us? They want us to help them develop their nuclear energy program, which sounds peaceful and nice. So does Iran. You can kind of understand there that the fear. And I brought this point up when we were talking about this. Nobody cares about nuclear energy. Like, hey, fine, let them do it, right? If you end up Chernobyling yourself, it's your fault. But what they're saying is, well, it's not that unreasonable to suspect somebody who wants it for a peaceful purpose could then try and repurpose it to something that is not so peaceful. Right, a bomb, a dirty bomb, right, or actually, making nuclear warheads.
North Korea and Iran, that's the case.
Exactly.
Well, it's the same materials.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, they have to enrich it to a far greater standard. It's much more difficult to do that, but you could make a dirty bomb much more easily than you could kind of enrich all the stuff that you need to, uranium, whatever. But they also want a U.S. security guarantee, and that's a hard one. Right? Because for the United States to completely guarantee the security of Saudi Arabia means, again, we could be drawn into a conflict with Iran because these guys are already fighting each other. Right. And so if that conflict escalates.
What Saudi Arabia is banking on in that case is, well, look, you get Israel and Saudi Arabia, the two most powerful militaries in the region, in a de facto alliance against the Iranians. You don't have to worry about Iran's influence. So they're kind of trying to, that's what they are trying to convince us to give them in exchange for normalizing their relations with Israel.
Yeah, exactly.
And it was close to working to an extent.
Yeah.
They thought by the end of the year or the beginning of the year that we might actually see a normalization between Israel and Saudi Arabia. Think about that.
That's a pretty dramatic thing. But this is all putting a little bit of a hold on that. Watch Louder with Crowder live Monday through Thursday, 10 a.m. Eastern.